very good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible perfectly. Can you please acknowledge me for it if I'm audible perfectly or not? I just need an acknowledgement from your end that if my voice is audible perfectly, that would be really good. If you will be just giving me the a yes or no for it. Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay, yes, audible. So, we are just waiting for another quick 1 to 2 minutes more, and then we are starting with today's agenda, okay, which is day 2, mastering the loops, conditions, and the functions. A very good evening, a very good evening. So, let everyone join. Just taking your 1 to 2 minutes more before I actually start with the next things. A very good evening. Do we have anything to go ahead to? I would say, I hope everything is good, and you have learned, okay, and you have practiced, okay, yourself also, okay. So I hope that is also being good. A very good evening, Tanisha. Okay, so let's begin then. If you wanted to go ahead with most of the things, okay. So I'm just starting with the today's agenda. If you know, okay, the last session 1, okay, we did an introduction towards a CPP, correct? And I've already introduced you that how do you need to go ahead. And let me just clear you one thing more. Attendances and everything, it will be provided to you, okay. The link would be provided to you the end of like 5-10 minutes prior, when we are just gonna end the session, and I'll walk through you, okay, towards entire kind of that how do we have to fill the attendance sheet and all, okay. Every single thing would be provided, right? I'll make you a walkthrough during the end time, okay, for like, okay, how do we fill the attendance sheet and all, okay, and the link would be provided, okay. So let's not repeat the same question in that, correct? Okay, so what we have the next over here is mastering the loops. Now what it happens, okay, whenever we say that we have to just master the loops, okay, consider, okay, the conditions and functions. But first of all, let's know about that how this core building blocks, okay, is gonna be enriching. How do you write the loops, okay? How do you have the condition loops? What are the functions? Which is the heart of like, okay, the programming language. Over here, exactly starting as an of the realm of the CPP programming languages, as we are doing into the CPP. Main thing is concept is all same, whether you go for the Python, whether you go for the CPP, whether you go for Java, or whether you go for any language. Loops are same in Java also, loops are same in over Python also, CPP also. Just what it matters and what it becomes the different is the syntaxes, okay. Just the syntaxes becomes different. It is the only thing which becomes different. Okay, so to master this in the CPP, okay, there is multiple orientations are being there, multiple ways out of it is being there. Now you already performed hello world program, you already built your first program yesterday, and we also built, okay, the other program too, correct? But by the end you will be definitely mastering the writing and running both of the nested loops, okay, the simple loops and all. But what it happens, okay, when we work with these kinds of loops, okay, over here, mainly is why only the loops, why these three things matters a lot. So let me just tell you that these all of the three things is the backbone, you can say heart of I would say the programming languages. Okay, it's just like in heart of a programming language. But over here, what the value which matters, okay, and how the value just matters, okay, over here is the fundamentals which has been constructed into the programming languages, and it has been giving the repetitions, okay, of the certain code blocks efficiently, like it's just used for the concise solutions. But condition is gonna be allowing you to make the certain amount of the decision based on to the data, right? So these kinds of datas and everything is also being quite good, okay, and whenever you need to perform any well kind of situations and all. So the precisely, like, okay, we have multiple types of the loops, okay, multiple types, okay, but loops is certain condition which makes without the duplicating the code, okay, or you can say without the conditions are being going to be judged for. And function, obviously, like without the concept of a function you can't do anything, okay, you certainly can't do anything. The reason is the values are not gonna be same each and every time, okay, it is not gonna be uh, giving you any kind of a repetitions, okay. See, I acknowledge you should have the theoretical knowledge, but I more purposely like acknowledge that you should have the practical knowledge as much as you can go ahead, okay, because theoretical is like, okay, you will be remembering with a certain amount of time period and all. But when we talk about certain practical things, okay, it should not look like, okay, that you don't have any kind of a knowledge, okay, or it's not completed, okay, or any certain things, okay, like that. So you always have to keep, okay, the best out of knowledge for anything you are looking forward, right? For anything you're just looking forward, it should be there. You should be having a perfect kind of a knowledge. If you're interested into the programming, and if you don't know, okay, from where to start, loops or looping is one of the key concept, okay, of it. First of all, let me just tell you what is the difference between a conditional and what is the difference between a simple loops. Now, as one of the conditionals we talk about, whenever we talk about the conditionals and all, the statement is being there. So you can have a look onto this diagram. The flow of the program is being managed by using the conditional statements into the CPP, into the Python and all. If a condition is true inside the if statement, okay, the body of the statement executes. Means if any kind of a condition, like let's say you said that you got like 90% and you're passing the examination, correct? What does this mean? This means that, okay, entire aspects, okay, of getting its success rate is good, right? This would be really nice if you want to start with certain kind of a looping. the statement and which is gonna be getting it execute. Okay, but if it falls, okay, or it is basically comes with a false condition, else is used to specify an alternate course into the action. You can check the sequentially the else code also, okay, or you can say you can check, okay, else if, okay, code also, correct. So this is basically, if you say that else if code is being there, it is only if for checking more several conditions, right? Ultimately, if you don't want it to just go with a certain other kind of the codes out of it, you can definitely just begin, or you can just say that elif has an other condition based onto it, and code is running onto the condition, and that is basically getting to sorted. Okay. The main reason behind that is what? The main reason is the conditions to run appropriately, and which can either being true or either being going to get false, correct. Depends upon the certain other value points also. Sometimes these condition doesn't render properly, right? And when we say that these conditions are not rendering the entire values, you can check appropriately, right? So then if you wanted to just go for the if else, okay, you can start. If you wanted to check more conditions, so you can go for the elif. Elif is l means el means else, and if basically if is being there, so we write it if with that, right? So two conditions, okay, to check the more appropriate way. Is it clear? Any questions? Any questions, please? I'm just reading your chat, please, okay, so that you don't have any kind of queries. You can let me know if you have any kind of a queries or anything you would like to ask or anything like that. Is full stack development conducted? Are you talking about the bootcamp or the sessions? Okay. Ravi, you can just subscribe this channel for the upcoming boot camps, and you will definitely like, okay, enjoy our upcoming boot camps also. Okay, a lot of interesting things are being coming. Okay, so what else we are gonna do at it? Yesterday we did it an introduction, the basics of CPP programming, input and output. Okay, then we have mastering the loops, the conditional loops and all. Today we have, okay, the functions. Then we will be having the array, strings, pointers tomorrow. The day 4 we will be doing it key data structures and all, okay, linked list, stacks, queues and everything. And after that we will be having the algorithms for sorting and searching and problem solving. So everything would be covered, and you will definitely get a good amount of confidence, okay, no matter what. This is not only just covering basics, but it is just, I would say, very good if you wanted to enter into any kind of companies. Okay, so this much, okay, if you're getting to know, and this much if you are just done, see, I can mark it, okay, you can get into any kind of companies properly and with a good logic reasonings, right? Okay, why CPP, ma'am? Okay, so don't worry, it is also a trending language, CPP. Okay, it's a very good language, so have a look, okay, and you will definitely get a good amount of knowledge. Oops concept, okay. Okay, so now into this controlling statements, if else both has an operation which is being performed according to what it is being required and the function inside it. Okay, you have to run a function, how it works, correct, and what it works for. No matter what and how, more of the condition will be coming like that. Okay, once we have this if, okay, else, okay, this is just normal, okay. But we have a nested if, okay. Inside an if, we have another if, okay. You will be just starting with it, okay, and you will definitely get it a good amount of knowledge, okay. Now, if you go into any of your VS Code, let's do the question out of it. Yeah, Soumya, we can use it. I'll show you how do we are just trying it. If you don't want it to go with the else if condition, so you can so simply go with that, okay. Let's say if I'm just writing it, a simple CPP program with an elif, okay. So what I'm just gonna do it is, first of all, include IO stream, okay. After that, using the namespace, I hope, okay, now there should not be any confusions are being there with std and the namespaces, correct. So you should be very confident about what it works for and how does it works for, right. So be clear with what you just try to write it, correct, and what you wanted to actually want to say, which has a duration period, correct. Okay, so these kinds of duration periods and all will also makes a good impact what for what you are just trying to write it, right. So sdd, then we are gonna open with the int main, okay. So we have the int main, and after that open the main bracket, chicken, right, okay, like this. So if I assume that int, the variable I'm just gonna give it int of I is equals to 11, okay, and if the value of I is greater than 15, that would be there, and I can just give a condition C out that 11 is greater than 15, okay. And after that I can give you one another condition C out of, okay, I'm not in the if, okay, I'm not in the if, so then I'll be returning 0. And now what I did, okay, over here, what all the conditions I've referred for, the number one, the condition what I follow, or what I know, revise and byte-wise, okay, the attendances and everything, you have to wait, okay, till the class end, okay. I'll be explaining you, doesn't matter, okay, but please be wait, okay, keep a wait of it and focus on to what we are just doing it, right. At the end, okay, I'll be explaining you, and you will be getting the entire kind of the link. In this program, what I am just basically doing it, first of all, it's in hash include IO stream, okay. This line is already being given as one of input and output stream libraries that has been counted into the cout and cn, and using the namespace std, okay. What we are just gonna do it is, we will be having, or we will be writing sdd, okay, the count every time, okay. Just an alternative of that, we bring the namespaces into the scope, correct. And after that, int main is being there, and inside the int main, okay, the main thing is this is an entry point of it, okay. or the condition has been quite satisfied. Okay, I've just given two conditions. I've declared a variable that's basically an I. Okay, and this declaring of a variable I which is gonna initialize. Correct. So if it is gonna initialize, okay, the value is going to be there. Okay, that's basically initialize with the value 11. So I, for me, it's a variable and 11 is a value point. Okay. It must to write the namespace. Abhishek, like, see, what had happened is if you don't want to write it this namespaces, so you can easily write it HDD. Okay, this one. Okay, and after that you can just write it cout. Okay, so you can write it using the HDD cout. Okay, easily it is gonna be the main point. But instead of like we are using the namespaces every single time to avoid such a long way, HDD is also gonna be there. Everything we are just gonna retrieve it back from the HDD only, right? Okay, and instead of that, simply like, okay, we can just give a bit, okay, of it, which is being there, right? Okay, and after that we have using the namespace of it. But the logic gets starts from the int I is equals to 11, right? Okay, over here the declaration of the integer value is variable is being there of the I or ith you can say, and it initializes some value that's being there. If I is greater than 15, okay, after that I've written if I is greater than 15, this is an if statement. Okay, and the why we are just trying to write the if statement, okay, what all the conditions would be there for writing the if statement and all is gonna be quite similar. Okay, whether the statement is gonna be checking whether the condition is I is greater than 15 is true or not, and in case I is 15, correct, okay, or like 11 or 12, 13, 14, whatever it is gonna check I is like 11. So the condition is 11 is greater than 15. No. Okay, the condition is going to be false, correct? And therefore the code inside the if block is not executed, right? So that means if the block in that particular section, if that particular condition is not executed, it will move out. Okay, if let's say this if is not satisfied, okay, the ith, okay, if I write it 11 is greater than 15 or not, if this is not being satisfied, it is going to move out of it. Okay, so then it is going to be returning as one of the another condition. I'm not into the if conditions, correct? So the value will change. So first of all, what you need to do it, execute it. Okay, initialize and execute the program. So for you have to write this particular line. The file name should be a program.cpp. After that you can just write it ./program. So you can see that the value came. I'm not into the if. Okay, I've written percent something. No, okay, I'm not into the if. That means the if condition is not satisfied, right? Now it is gonna move out of loop. Okay, and when Aman Kumar, please check your network. From my end it's perfectly going on. अभी whatever the name is, attendance definitely होगी. Attendance आपकी होगी 740 के around, I guess. Correct, very good, Soumya. Aman, you can just join again if possible, right? So this is with just an if condition. Now if with this, okay, we already have the else condition also, so what we can just write it. So now with an if and else conditions, it is quite good. Check it. Now this include IO stream. this line is definitely gonna go the same way. So we will be just writing it int main. Okay, the entry point of the function. Okay, so entry point of a function is gonna be there, and after that I'm just putting one condition that my int a is equals to 16. This is the first condition, right? The variable I'm declaring it. So now if I wrote it, if a is less than 15, if a is less than 15, this is now upper one we were having the variable. Now down if condition we had, okay, this if condition, or then we have an else condition, right? So if this condition gets satisfied and returns to the true, okay, we wanted to print an I would say an output, okay, with cout a is smaller than 15. Okay, so this is a one part of it. Okay, if this gets satisfied, okay, the program will not execute, okay, the further way, right? And if, okay, the else condition would be there, else condition will only work, okay, when we have certain amount of things to write it. So in that, okay, else condition will come, okay, and it will be just writing it cout, okay, less than a is greater than 15, right? And then ultimately we will be just trying to return it. Okay, now the moment you say that you are just returning, okay, or the moment it has the certain kind of a condition, right? I guess, like, okay, we have put additional curly braces, return to 0, right? Now the values could be the same. Okay, can you let me know what would be the output of it? What would be the output of it? Can you let me know? Just quickly write it into the chat section, please. The output of it. What do you think, like, okay, will be the output of it? Mohit, don't worry. At the end, I'll be telling you how to mark it. I'll myself will be opening the the file, okay, the link of that instance, and I'll tell you. Okay, Soumya is saying a is greater than 15. Okay, what about rest of you guys? Okay, Soumya gave an answer. Gautam Mongli is greater than 15. Okay, soft nature a is greater than 15. Is greater than 15. Okay, Arvin, Ketan, Rabi, Prachi, and all. Okay, got it. Kaushi is there. Okay, Kumar Shivam, mathematics, Ayush, Pradhan, DA, whatever the name is. Okay. So let's just execute. Okay, Dipender, okay, Shiv, Gautam, okay. Let's just execute it. So this is basically a compilation. Then you are just gonna go with a // program. So now you will get it, the a is greater than 15. So how do you write it as? Now what happened with the loop? When we talk about, okay, Vibha, Krishna, Balad, Jagdish, Tanisha, and all. So what it happens? Okay, first of all, just get it done. Okay, what we just trying to write it. We just wrote it a is equals to 26. That's a variable of r. Okay, that's a variable of r. Now over here, if we wrote, okay, this is a one part, okay, of it. This is a one part of it. Okay, Veda. So this is a one part, a is less than 15. And if this condition 26 is gonna be getting it satisfied in the if part, two blocks are being there, if and else block. If this condition is gonna be satisfying with this, okay, we are gonna return it back. And if this condition doesn't satisfy it, okay, then we are gonna move to the else condition. Okay. The condition matters and how does it start, okay, whether it is, okay, the value depends, correct. A is greater than 15, correct. So this means this if part is being cancelled, okay. The request, the probability of it, okay, does not get it exist with what, the if part block. Now it is going to move to the else part, okay. That is basically that from one of them, okay, I'm not able to go with that, but second of them I'm just trying to get it done. Okay, so this is basically what they have to work with. Okay, and how does it work with is this. Okay, quite good. Now what is an else if condition, correct. Okay, now what is an else if condition? Now let's say everything goes good, or like, okay, if I'll also say let's say elif, or another one, I'll just write it else, okay, see out, okay, or you can say another condition, you can just also write it, okay, like this, okay. Elif, okay, the condition changes, see out is less than like this, okay. But the point is, it won't be executing if we have the multiple approaches, right? If A is going to be equals, okay. Okay, like let's build our own program for it, okay, for a nested loop. Okay, I'll show you how do we make a nested loops, okay. This is the way out of it. How do we write the nested loops? Now inside the nested loop, okay, include, okay, the IO stream, okay, using the namespace, okay, std int main, okay. Let's declare some of the variables. Now you are very perfect, okay, with it, so I don't think so like you need every kind of conditions, okay. So if A is equals to 10, int of B, that's also variable, is equals to 15, okay, or let's say 5, okay. We wanted if the condition is there, A is greater than B, A is greater than B, okay. Now we are gonna control the nested loop. Okay, I've just given the condition that A is greater than B, but also I'm gonna control the loop of mine with a nested if. Again, if I put it, if, okay, A is a modulus of 2, okay, and equals to like 0. Why do we make, okay, 2 equals to, that's in comparison, okay, we are just going with a comparison. So if we this condition is gonna be getting true, so see out with the resultant output A is less than, okay, or A is going to be in even condition, okay. Secondly, we just try to put another conditions out of it, okay, another value point of the conditions out of it, else condition, okay. We already gave if condition. The image not clear, image is perfectly clear, please change your setting of the YouTube, okay, just set it on to the higher quality. From my end it's all on a higher quality only, just check your quality of the streaming. Okay, after that it's an else condition. In the else condition, what the main aspect is gonna be there is, If doesn't happen, if a is not being divisible by 2 and the value is also not being 0 or equals to 0, okay, another condition we can just write it C out a is odd. Okay, second condition, another else condition I'm just putting it, okay, over here, that if again it doesn't happen, is not greater than equals to, okay, a is not greater than or is not greater than what, the BB. So if this is gonna be counted, okay, make sure you write some values out of it. Okay, so make sure it's gonna be there, right? So now once you set, okay, or once the condition is being set, what you are just gonna write it as, okay, is return to 0. Okay, you're gonna write it return to 0. ठीक है, क्लियर है? I don't think so. ठीक है, एक particular, like, okay, you can just set a condition out of it. I can just write one comment also this way. Okay, so I've just written, I'll format the document, so you can easily format it. Okay, so don't think like, okay, there would be any issues and all. Okay, you can just go with that. What would be the output? What error we have? We don't have any error. Please check it, your system. This is the looping, okay, what we have done it. LF का यूज़ भी करेंगे अभी, प्रॉपरली यूज़ करेंगे उसका भी. ये आपके पास 2 एल्स है ना, एक ये एल्स है और ये एक एल्स की कंडीशन है. Attendance is provided, attendance link would be provided, attendance explanation will be provided, but that will be provided once we are gonna end the class, okay, and before 5 minutes of it. Okay, so don't get it I would say harsh onto it. Okay, have a patience regarding it, and everything is being provided, don't worry. Okay, okay, what it happens now, let's run it. What would be the, I would say, the output of it? होता है Shivam, we are gonna solve with an LF also. Okay, give me just few minutes. Okay, we are on to that only. If we say the output, that's gonna be the 10 is even, correct? So this is the perfect response. Okay, and then output we got it. Gautami Saloni gave, I guess, all of you just gave an answer with it. That's perfect. Correct, correct. So in this code, okay, first of all, it is just checking onto an if condition, that's A is greater than B. If A is greater than B, the nested if is getting a statement which is gonna be get checked. And if the nested if condition will be getting it false, okay, the else statement is gonna get the changes out of it. Okay, the else statement will get the changes out of it, and that will only just being dependent upon what you are just trying to write it. Okay, and how you are just trying to write it. Okay, it doesn't matter, or like you can say that, okay, the condition doesn't matter for why we are just trying to write it, okay, appropriately, right? Okay, or doesn't have any kind of, okay, the premature codes. Okay, so if that is also not there, and it is also not being getting it proper, so try not to write it. And if the nested if condition is being false, okay, the else statement is being nested if is being there, the blocks get executed. Okay, so if the block is going to get executed, or like, okay, the value of blocks would be getting it the executed, make sure the approaches you're just trying to write it. Clear? Any questions till now to anyone regarding it? Any questions till now to anyone? Correct answer is this only. Indupriya, I guess you did not attended the class of yesterday. Okay, so we basically done yesterday. That's how to get the input and output. Okay. Okay, if that conditions are being getting it true, or the values are being getting it true, okay, with the input and output, that we can use it, right? So now let's start with another one, which is gonna be there elif. Okay, or you can say if else if. That's a ladder. First of all, if condition, else condition, then again the condition will be there. Okay, Abhishek, thank you. Instead of two else, okay, we could have used elif and else. Correct, absolutely correct, Soumya. That's what we are just doing it. Now, instead of like, okay, using two else, okay, we can simply go for the else if. Okay, this was just an alternative. I've just made it sure, which was there. Clear? Okay, now what is the next thing? Okay, and how does we have been going with it? What all the conditions you should be going with it? Okay, that also being there. In the else if, okay, you can say, okay, as an of else if, okay, or you can say elif. Okay, it's just an extension. It's just an extension, okay, which is being there as one of the statement you required it, right? Okay, in this extension you wanted to make it sure that you are just checking the multiple conditions, okay, into the first of all you will check the if condition, which if it becomes false, okay, if the if condition becomes false, okay, out of it, what you are just gonna do it is, then you're gonna move towards the second condition, okay, which is an elif. Okay, the condition is basically like what, the elif. Okay, and an elif ladder going to just start with, okay, the letters we would write to require it, correct? If in this conditions, okay, what we have to become the false, else block will be getting it executed, okay? But how does that work? Let me just tell you. Okay, main approach with what it comes as an of, okay, I'll tell you the flow charts, okay, out of it, and you can just begin with the block code, okay, of it. So these kinds of block codes and everything will be just sorted for what you're just trying to write it, and how do you are just gonna write it, okay? It becomes just like an expressions, okay? Let me just check where is my Google Docs. If you require these PPTs, okay, or the presentation, I'll give you myself, okay. Let me just go with an else if first of all, then we are gonna go with the functions, correct? A bit of time you can give me, correct? So I hope you can see this, correct? This is a block of code, a flow chart, you can say. This is gonna come when you have the Boolean expressions, okay, first Boolean expression, second Boolean expression, and nth Boolean expressions. If the condition goes true, okay, end the code within the body of if condition. That's it. But what if it gets false, correct? If the expression 2 gets, okay, the false and all, 1 gets false, it will move to the boolean expression of 2, correct? And if again it makes a false, okay, it will move to nth boolean expression of it, correct? But if wherever the condition will be getting it sorted, okay, getting it onto the true parts, okay, you have to write it like it. That's it. And then you're gonna move with the else condition out of it, right? Similarly to that, when we have the program of the else if, or you can say simple elif, most probably over here, what you just need to do, okay, again you're gonna write it include IO stream using the namespaces NJD. Okay, then we will open the main entry point, that's some main, right, like this, int, again the first of it. Yeah, I can share with you guys, okay, don't worry. These PDFs and all, it will goes to you, okay. A is equals to 20 if the condition comes like A should be equals to 10, okay. See out with a, I would say, a message that A is 10. Okay, so whenever it makes a sense about it, like, okay, that these values will be consecutively gonna be changing it, right? And this value, whatever we have, okay, it's only gonna change when the upper conditions, okay, we have is gonna be the sorted, okay. But if it, whenever it becomes, okay, the ensurety about few of it, it will go lower of it, correct? Okay, let's say if A is equals to 10, but obviously you know, like, okay, this condition is not gonna be true, okay, we move to the next one of it. So else if A is equals to 15, see out, okay, A is 15. Right, again you can put it else if that A should be 20, with the conditions, okay, else if and all, okay, you don't need to put the semicolons, correct? See out, okay, A is 20, okay. After that, at the end, it's a main thing, that's an else condition, okay. And with the else condition, the final step, okay, you just need to maintain as see out A is not presented, okay. Then after that, return to 0, okay. And once you return the value points to the 0, the condition will make the way. Venkata, Sunita, screen is almost clear. I have 2 external devices, okay, connected with that, and I can clearly see the output, okay, with my screen. So just check the internet connectivity plus the settings, okay, make it an advanced, okay, quality, okay, quality of the screen and all for the video you are just running, okay. So you can just check that, okay. What would be the output? Okay, so my A is 20, okay. Else if condition follows A is 20, right? A is 20, okay. So first of all, int A is already being declared as one of the way out of it, and then we are just trying to get it that, correct? Perfect. So let's just run it. Let me just compile this code first of all. Okay, so if you see that the output is A is 20, perfect with that. Only second if else condition is gonna execute, correct? After that, okay, if whenever it's gonna get stop, okay, it is gonna be 0, okay, or it's gonna be the fulfillment with that, right? So let's begin now. What is the functions out of it? So all of these practicals and all, message filters, temperature check, user authentication, these are the real time I would say, and the applications are being there. Okay, so we will be doing one more loop, okay, that's in for loop, but I'll connect that, okay, loop on tomorrow. Okay, now into the CPP we have, I would say, the functions, correct? Because the compiler is like there na Mukesh, like Visual Studio is being there, so after that the extension is also installed, correct? Now what if we write a is equals to 30 and don't write a yeah, it doesn't matter. Over here 30, okay, so let's run it a program again, so still it is gonna be there. Already the conditions is getting satisfied, na? Like okay, over there, over here, okay. Now this is basically the functions. How do we define a function? Functions in any CPP or anywhere, okay, it's a block of code, okay, which is designed to perform a specific task. Functions are like, okay, the fundamentals for the modular programming. A bigger problem statements are being broken, okay, into the smaller aspects, okay. This is the basic functions, how you just need to write it, the anatomy of it. This is how in another languages we write it function keyword, but in CPP we used to write it like this, def. This def is basically how do we have to write it, correct? The name, okay, of it. So this is def, okay, which means defining the functions. After that we have the this function name. So let's say if I'm just writing the function name like smarted, okay, I'm gonna write the name of my function as smarted. So this is the def is the function I've just declared it, correct? There is a parameters which is being there, parameter 1 and parameter 2, and both of the parameters are gonna be getting it satisfied. And what is a parameters? Basically parameter is just a keywords which is being given. You're gonna have the variable declared inside the function, okay. Any variable whatever you required it, okay, anywhere you required it, it is gonna be inside that, correct? And the value will be just getting it changed according to what you need to require it, okay. These are the parameters, okay, parameter 1 and parameter 2. The optional way of the docstring you can write it. Sure, Vishal, I'll provide the notes also. C for flowcharts, ma'am. Okay, I'll give you the flowcharts also tomorrow. Okay, just make me remember, okay, about it. So now, as one of the resultant, another variable we made it as one of the resultant, parameter 1 and parameter 2 will be the, I would say, the point, okay, of the contact we have. So 4 things, okay. First of all, you should remember function name, parameters, okay, docstring, and function body. Additional, if you wanted to remember that, you can remember like, okay, the return value, okay. So that would be how you're gonna write it, okay. So there how you can write a function. I'll give you a very small kind of, okay, the example of the function. These also you can just get it done, okay, but I'll give you a very small one, okay, of it. Let's say if I wanted to write, okay, anyway, any function, okay, let me just give you an example. Thank you, Mukesh. I will be doing it. How do we write a function? Include, okay, I should not write it again and again. Parameters is kind of this particular, you can say, taking an input of the way you want it, okay, to write or rewrite it. Okay, now let's just declare a function. Let me just write it void, okay, or I can just write, okay, any function which is being there. Okay, now one of the condition what is gonna be mattered, okay, or matter, okay, over here is function which is gonna be defined, okay, with what you wanted to just write, right? So let me just give you the function with the parameters, right? Okay, so let's say if this is being there, void spaces and all, I can just give the name of the function that's gonna be display the num, okay. There is gonna be the parameter, let it be in int 1, that's basically without the decimals, but positive and the negative numbers would be there. Then we have a float into Okay, that's gonna be decimals could be there, okay, inside it. Two parameters are being there. After that, okay, I'm just gonna write it two variables. Okay, one of them is basically the integer values as being true, another one we have as the false, correct? Let me just get it like that. See out the int number as, okay, the n1. Yeah, I'm telling you, yes, wait a second. And this is gonna be them. So now both of them has its own criteria. And why we are using void? Okay, can't we use anything else? Okay, I'll tell you. The void function we use into the CPP about what that refers, it does not return any value while calling the code until or unless you just need to write, okay, so another kind of a codes also, the declarations and all. So just simply write it, okay, the void, to just make sure every action is being performed everywhere. Okay, and now if you just write, okay, the some variable outputs, okay, let's say if I'm writing int main, two values I've given, that means num1 is going to be what, this one, okay, n1 and n2, right? But how it will be calling it, I'll be calling the function now, that's gonna be the display num. I'll be having num1 and I'll be having the num2. So this is how we write it, and after that return simply 0. Yeah, wait a second. Alright, so now why we are just writing it? Okay, first of all, what we did is we declared a parameters, okay, over here with the void, and the void was only being taken with a function which is called like an other function. But since it is not going to return any kind of a value, okay, right now you can see that there is nothing n1 and n2 as being there. There is only this n1 and n2 being used in the calling the output, okay, and it does not return any value, but they still contain the return of it, okay, return 0, right? And after it, the values will be same, okay, if the condition makes a sense. Okay, now if you run, what would be the output? Yeah, I'm providing that. Okay, time is not over yet. Okay, don't leave until you unless like mark your attendance, please. Okay, the int number is 5th, the double of like 5.5, right? The int number is 5, okay, so you can write it like this, int number is 5 and the double number is 5.5, so double is 5.5, int is 5, right? So I've already written, okay, this particular way, okay, out of it, the conditions which is there, right? The condition which is being there will make so appropriate approaches, okay, out of it, okay. And how does it makes an approaches, or what all the approaches would be there? It will just count, okay, for whatever the value you're just trying to write it, okay. So whatever the values, okay, you need to write it, it will have the appropriate formats, okay, for what it has to be written for. Clear? Correct, Gautami. Any questions till now? But only consider that these values, okay, whatever you have, it could have, okay, the infinite loop also with the function it makes. Most of the people like make some mistakes with that, but it can have the function basically to print number of variables in it. And these examples you can take the SSS, okay, of it, okay, and anyway, but PDF would be there. You can call the function whatever you wanted to make for, right? Okay, anywhere, whatever the function you have, you can call that functions, correct? I hope the things are clear. Clear perfectly. Okay, so I'm just dropping attendance, I would say a length. Thank you, Mukesh. Just have a look, okay, on to a feedback form. I hope it has been given. You people have received it, the attendance sheet already given. I'll pen it. I'll give you the PDFs, don't worry. I'll make one drive file and I'll give it to you. Okay, so this is a PDF, feedback with like, okay, you can say attendance sheet also. You can drop your feedbacks and everything if you have any of it, okay, regarding this session. So you can open this attendance sheet, okay. You can write your full name, you can write an email ID, okay, over here. You can write your contact numbers, WhatsApp numbers, and the college name, correct. And after once you put okay your college names and everything, choose okay what current year of study you have, right? Then you will be having the batch and the streams okay over here written, and the state where you're living, okay. And after that, once you just fill everything, okay, once you have everything being filled with, open this link which is being presented with Smarter Innovations. Okay, you will be filling this particular, there would be like this, right? Which is being there would be one review form, right? There is something that's known as a review, so just open with the review, okay. Put any reviews okay over here. There would be a, how do you need to write it, so review from the webs and all, you can put it, right? Okay, you can drop your reviews regarding okay this company and regarding the sessions and what you required ahead, correct. So you can drop out your just like that, okay, Google reviews. So you can drop out your I would say the suggestions and everything right now into this chat box, okay, and you can submit it okay over here. So you can give suggestions for the upcoming boot camps and everything, every single thing you can just let us know, right? I hope you really liked it. So may I know like okay if you have any questions, please. Thank you for your good feedbacks. Okay, I'll drop it once again, the chat for the form you need to fill. Okay, so just have a look those who did not got it, but ultimately you got it now. Okay then, thank you everyone. Take care, bye bye, have a nice day. Right, okay, let's meet tomorrow for the day 3 and be prepared for it because it's quite good. The sessions is gonna be one step ahead of it. Thank you everyone. Take care, bye bye, have a nice day.